So the meeting is being live streamed right now. So welcome once again to this session. Um Prachi is a extremely talented person working in up north, and she has come up with a wonderful topic. I will let Prachi introduce that topic to you. Uh, and tell a little bit about herself, her background, and then we'll get the session started. It's a brilliant topic, and she has hands on hardcore experience in Microsoft Fabrics and multiple other technologies, Power BI, and all. Okay, I'll start all over again. So, Prachi has excellent experience in multiple technologies, and we are very proud that she's delivering this special lecture to you today. Guys, you have to watch out for hands-on experience, and if you have any questions during the session, you can put it in the chat box, or you can. Uh, she will give you a signal. She will pause in between, and she'll ask you if you have any questions. So please be active, and let's proceed over to Prachi.
Thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity to represent here. So, as Arun sir already told, so I am working, I'm having 6+ year experience in the field of Power BI and the Microsoft Fabric since it launched since 2 years. I'm completely like focusing working on the Microsoft Fabric. And yeah, so I have expertise in Power BI, Microsoft Fabric, and the Azure Data Factory and the Azure Data Engineering thing. So let me share my screen. So today I will show the Microsoft Fabric topic, Translytical task flow, how we will go with that. So let me share my screen. Let me know when you can see my screen. Can everyone see my screen, the PPT one?
Yes, Prachi, it is available to us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So here we are gathered to discuss the translytical task flow, like what it is, why we need it, and why this feature come. Like what is the reason? So like what was the traditional, because this the translytical task flow will be the combined version of Power BI and the Microsoft Fabric tools, Microsoft Fabric features. So what was the limitation in our existing BI tool? That's why this come. What was the fundamental problem? So let's start with what was the limitation. So as we already know, yeah, we build a report in the Power BI, and suppose, for example, we have we have the one page where we are showing the sales and target. So the target is, but suppose like for this quarter or this month, the target is defined, and client send us the data, uh, send us data in Excel file format or in the SQL database, like whatever data source they are using for that. We have that information there. But so that suddenly they realize, suppose like for that quarter or that month, maybe there's special offer, summer offer, winter offer, something is going on. So target should be high. But the predefined target we have already in the database, they cannot, like they can go to that person, and complete steps will be followed to update the data. But immediately, suppose, because this question will this the edit thing will arise. Suppose I am the executive person and I am seeing the report, I am seeing the sales chart, and the I am seeing my actual versus target. Then I realize this month we should have more target, because this month is a festive season, so lot of things, lot of sales should be uh, sales should be grow. So at that time I realized target I need to update. But for that, to update the target value, I will go back to that the data analyst. Then data analyst will go to the data engineer. A lot of things will, like, steps will be happen. I don't have that facility, so that immediately I can just edit that value for the particular case. I don't have that functionality in the directly in the Power BI. There is no out of box feature in the Power BI. For that, for the edit functionality, suppose I want that edit functionality, I need to use the custom visuals or other tools I need to embed in my Power BI, or I need to go to the other environment, not in the Power BI environment. I need to, I can bring the Power Apps. If you know the Power Apps, we can create the forms and design the forms, provide the write back functionality. So I need to embed that thing, like the other environment I need to embed here, or completely I need to, like, if that functional for that functionality, maybe like based on the, like, whatever cost, based on those parameter, I will go with the with I will play with two environments. So in the traditional BI, we have only view only mode. We cannot directly write back. We can write back using other tool, but like there are lot of things will be there. The licensing thing, if suppose the business is very small, they don't uh, they don't want to go with other environment, other tool to pay the license cost for that. Suppose for the Power Apps also, we need to purchase the license. So they don't want to go with that. So for that, so that was a limitation in Power BI. So does anyone have question related to that, or any points anyone want to discuss at this stage? Okay, let me go then. I did not get any response. Then let me go with next one. So what was the fundamental problem? The simple thing, as we already discussed, we just open the report, we are showing the, like, analyzing the report and create the story, and executive are reading that story, can see that story, and maybe based on their requirement uh, they can just take a snapshot, a screenshot, or embed in the Power BI PPT for their meetings. That's all. Like there is no, like, whatever we are doing, suppose, like, suppose the executive manager, they just take a screenshot of the quarter sales, how our business is performing for that quarter. They are just taking the snapshot of the report and sending, like, manually sending to the senior persons. So here, like, they are manually sending. So that was the, like, the manual intervention is there. But when the translytical task flow enter, here what we were doing, we are analyzing and just exit. Now we can analyze and act. We can update. We can do the right thing within the Power BI environment. We can do the change. The trigger will happen, and then the action will be taken care. So, like, here, what we can do? We can trigger directly within the Power BI only. As we take the example, we can update the pricing model. If I need to update my target, I can update in a real time, and the, like, update will be quickly reflect within few seconds only. We can adjust the inventory level. If I need to do anything, any change, we can do. Send personalized communication. We can send. If something is happened, suppose I update the target for that, I want to notify my team as well, because at that time, like, suppose I am at the executive position and I'm just preparing the PPT for the seniors, and then I realized that this target should be this for quarter. I did it, but I want to inform my team as well, so that they are aware about that, or like the other person, like why I take this decision, or like any comments if I want to add. So for that, I can send the notification as well. Like here, not only for customer, for my internal team as well. If I am doing something, I can just send the notification to them as well. And the approval workflow, if you know about the workflow, like suppose I am doing some task, I need to send the request to my manager, then they will approve. After that only I can start. So those type of approvals we can do here only, in the using the Power BI and the Fabric combination. So like why this is game changing, because we don't need to leave the existing tool. We can do everything here. And as the response is as fast as we have in, if we are using the other tool. So suppose, for example, before this feature also we are doing the right back. We can embed our power app, we can create the power apps, embed that power apps in here in the Power BI report. And for refresh the data set, because using the Power Apps, I can write the, like I can input, and then input will be stored in my database. And I need to reflect that value in the Power BI. I can do the refresh thing. For that, I can bring the Power Automate in picture to refresh my data model. So like to do this process, like to provide the write back functionality, I need to use the three tool. Power BI, where I will embed my form, my write back form, that will be my Power Apps backed by Power Apps. And to refresh the model, I need to use the Power Automate. So three apps we are using: separate license for Power Apps, separate license, whatever requirement for the Power Automate. So these are the things. But here in the Power BI, our database is one lake. That is our fabric. Like in the fabric, in the same environment we have. So response time is very fast. Like we are the reduced context switching means like less time here, because everything under same environment only. I don't need to earlier what happened. Yeah, I embed the Power BI Power Apps in Power BI. I click on submit. My submit button will go back to will is will click perform the action, store the data in my database. Then I need to, in the database, I added the Power Automate flow as well. Then again, like it will switch to the Power Automate flow. Once the data is submitted, it will store. It will store, and then Power Automate flow will run. Then again it switch to different environment to perform the other action. Then Power Automate refresh the data. Then after that only I can see here. But here, because everything under one environment, Power BI, Microsoft Fabric, so the it reduced the time and fewer manual handoffs. So here, less manual thing we need to do. Yeah, so this is, does anyone have any questions here? Yeah. So what we can do here, we can modify the report, data annotation. We can add we can add the data, we can update the data, we can delete the data, dynamic notification, as we already talked. We can send the alerts, send the mail to the team. Approval workflow. We can we can create the system. We can create the system. We can create the system like we can create the system in such a manner, like based on our requirements, so that we can the type of approval flow. We can add a, like we can connect with the external API integration as well. Custom thing also we can do. So what will be the prerequisite that I need to do to start the use of translytical task? Because this feature is backed by Fabric, so I need the minimum Fabric capacity, that is our F2 capacity, or we can use our trial capacity as well. That will be our trial capacity is equivalent to F64. If if no one have that Fabric capacity, If like in your organization you did not started the fabric capacity, you don't have the purchase fabric capacity, you can start your fabric trial capacity as well, and you can do all the things that we can do in the fabric capacity. And if you have the fabric capacity F2, like if your fabric capacity is below F64, then you need the Power BI Pro license to perform the reporting, because this will be dynamic reporting. So we need the Power BI Pro license so that you can do the edit. And this is backed by, like, here our, like, we will use for the data storing, we will use the SQL database. Sorry, here SQL database, if you don't know about that, in the Fabric also we have the Fabric SQL database. So here SQL database means the Fabric SQL database only. So as whatever feature Microsoft is launching related to Fabric or Power BI as well, we need to enable that feature in our tenant. In the Power BI admin portal, we need to enable that feature. Like Copilot also, like any features, if GitHub features also, we need to go to the Power BI setting, tenant setting, and we can allow that feature for our tenant. And yeah, the appropriate permission for creating user data function also. So let's speak this. So implementation, yeah, we will store the data. For also we need to do the setup, develop data, we need to create the function, and then use that. Let me show you now then. Yeah. So let me show you first this image, then I will show you the demo. So here you can see, like this is the report that they have. Let me show you. Yeah. So here you can see, like we have these record in this table. And if you want to update it, like as I said, like we can update the request, like we can send the request. So for that, we need to select the option. Then we need to enter whatever value we want to assign. Like here, like they want to assign the discount for that particular, like we need to filter. We need to select that object. Then we can assign the value, and then value will be reflected. If you see here, we type the value, discount value, and here we can see our value is updated. So let me show you. So in the Power BI, let me show you the demo now. So in the Power BI also, we need to enable that feature. So in the Power BI settings, to enable the preview feature, this the translytical task. After that only we can see the functionality. We can see the functionality, how we can use that. So first thing is this, the Translytical task flow. We need to enable this. Second thing is, as I told you in the Power BI admin setting, in the admin portal, in the tenant setting, we need to enable the, like, the SQL database is enable. The user data function is also enabled. So here the two important thing we will be using, the SQL database, like how this will, like this will flow. The Power BI, where we will create the functionality like right back, and we will use the Power BI visualization. Power BI visualization, we will use the text slicer. For that, we will use the buttons, and like whatever visuals do you want, you can add that based on the requirement. And this is our first layer. Then second, like our, what will be our data, like data warehouse, data management system. For that, we can use, like here the mention, like I'm also mentioning the SQL database only. But no, we can use the lakehouse as well. But firstly, when this launch, they mention, Microsoft mentioned SQL database, but we can do the lakehouse as well. So like there is no limitation. You need to use this Fabric SQL database only, but we can use the Microsoft Lakehouse as well. And the user data function that I'm saying. So as this is a general point. If I need to click something, definitely backend some code is written. So that code we will return in our function that we will define. So like whatever function is doing, just storing my data, adding, updating, deleting. So for that, we have the in the Microsoft Fabric, we can create the user data function. So whatever definition we define in that function will do that operation. Then the uh, fourth thing will be like whatever operation we mentioned, then we can see the our data reflection here. So now let me show you. Yeah. So here that's just simple in the Fabric. If you don't know about the Fabric, so in the Fabric workspace, we can create the new item and we can create our SQL database, Fabric SQL database. So I already built it. So I'm just clicking just simple step. Just click on this artifact and it will create your database. And in that, I created my one simple table, the user table, where I have only user ID and the user email. And now, I'm just playing with the very simple, this is very simple requirement. We can enhance that. So see what I'm see earlier this was not possible. See if you see this my screen, I was trying to create the event management application. As if you all know, the Microsoft Fabric conference was last week, the last week in the 15, 16, 17, 18 September. So for that, I was trying to create the event application where any person can add their agenda, update their agenda, add their session list. So as I want to play with the Translytical task flow capability. So here I want to create the user the same thing like website thing, as we this thing we can do in any right back application or any website feeling I want to provide here. So here user can create their email ID, and that email ID will store in their data. So here what I did, if you see here, this is my task flow. This is my this is my text slicer. So if you see here, I selected this visual and you can see here, this is text slicer. And if I open, you can see in the text slicer, we have the options. We have yeah. So in the text slicer, I just use the text slicer in the setting, whatever formatting I need to do, I need to add, I add it. I added the placeholder email, enter email ID. Like you can play with the property. I added that placeholder and the design thing. I added here. Then next, what I want to enter some value and then click on the submit. And this is my simple button. Like initially, I added very simple blank button. As go to the insert button, I added the blank button. And as we already enable the Microsoft, the Translytical task flow property, so here you can see the date in the action, you can see the data function. So we can enable the data function and we can select the workspace and we can select our function. So here, if I show you in this function, I select my workspace, I select my function name, and whatever function name was it is added. So let me show you here. So here, here I created the function. The function is also like the same thing I created. If I go here and the user data function, here we have that artifact I just created. So I'm just clicking on the new function. So here, like, see, this is the syntax. And here we need, like, as everything, whatever we will do, we need to save it. And then, like, this code, we can change that code based on our requirement, and then we can publish that code. So if you see here, because the good thing is for the Microsoft Fabric is this is very low code. Like, Microsoft Fabric also provide you provide you sample codes. For few sample codes is already provided, like the basic syntax. I don't need to know, like, see, everyone know the syntax of the how we will use. Like, if you are coming from the coding background, and if you are not coming, that will also be fine, because if you know the Python, or if you don't know, you can learn this very quickly, like how we can define the function. And first main thing is, if you know the SQL, you can do, because only the medium part we will change, and the other these things will be similar. So see, right now I created just the function. Here you can see the manage connection. I did not connect with any source. So here I need to connect with my source. It can be SQL database, it can be Lakehouse, like where I want to store the data. So I want to connect with the SQL database. So I connected, and here I have my SQL, the source name, the alias name. So I can update that. So if you can see here also, yeah, so you can see, you can find the code from here as well, like the simple syntax, simple code to connect with the, you can you can able to generate the code as well, like Microsoft Fabric also provide, because this code I generated from here only, and the middle part only I change, like this part only I change, because I want to do the, like, the main logic, whatever I want to implement, I implement this part only I change. Otherwise, this is generated by, like, how how we will write the data to the SQL database. This the syntax I was able to generate from this panel. The Microsoft Fabric, like this UI helped me to generate the same syntax, the definition thing. And see, as I have this, so initially, like, as I started, I just enter the value, just simple, and then here, and just click on submit. This was simple, and, like, it will submit the value. But as I mentioned, this is enter email ID. So I want to add the rule as well. Like, oh, I don't want some spam value, the corrupted value. So if you see my message saying invalid email address, please provide the valid address in this form. Why this happened? Because I defined in my function. If you see here, I added the logic to validate my email pattern. If it is not match, it will display the message. So that's why it happened. This is the logic I added. And then let me do this thing. Let me enter the value that already exists. So this is already exists. Now I am entering. This will also say your user already exists, cannot create, because I added that logic here. So we can customize whatever we want to. We can customize this function to next, like, any level we can do. Like, this is very small example. If you see here, I already added the logic. If the user exists, it will do. And if user not exists, it will insert the value in my, like, connection, that this thing I added. Like, I'm running the data, like I'm storing the data. So the simple thing, that was simple SQL query everyone know. So here we can store the value. Now let me store one value and show you how much time this will take to reflect. So let me type, If you see here, the user created, and if I check this in my database, how much time this take? Millisecond, nanosecond, or second? Less than 1 second. And if I am this, because currently I did not bring, yeah, I have the data. Yeah, let me bring, if this is coming from SQL database, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, I need to bring that because this is coming. I have the table in a lakehouse as well. So this is very small example, but we can extend this example to our next level. Like here, I want to do that thing, but I did not get chance to complete it. But let me show you how it will do. Like it will play. I show you the example how the value will reflect. And if I come to the next level of the higher level of how we can use this translytical task flow. So if you see here, I added the date, I added the timestamp to choose, and I added whatever session was listed. So what we need to do, like, see what I want to do. I want to add this particular session in my agenda. So for this, if you see already, like I set up the code in the Power BI also, I did some duxing. So I set up the code in this manner so that, because how this know, like this session will be added to my agenda. So I backend and I did something so that our session, whatever session code will define, so it will pick, yeah, your session code is this. So enter the session code, and then if I will enter the session code, it will add to my agent. Like this functionality is in the progress, it's not completed, so I cannot, like this is my plan, I cannot show it right now, but once it done, I can show you. So here we can add it, like here why I am telling this, we can add it and delete. And but for that, I need to choose something. I need to, here if you see the left side, this visual, I need to select first. If you like, suppose yeah, suppose this is my, like I am having this view. Yeah, suppose I have one column comment, I review, yeah, or remarks, you can say. I want to remarks that. So I first need to select, then my action button, the data function action button will be activated, and I will be able to then based based on the selection, my value will be submitted or updated for that. So this you can explore because I'm very fascinating about this feature. I did not get time. Like this is my second trial when I update. Like I have another example as well, but I deleted that SQL database and my report broken. But this is my latest example that I am working on. And here you can see, like in this library, in the Microsoft library, you can see. Let me put that link in the chat. You can see like lot of examples here. You can see lot of example here. And if you did not believe, someone create the Sudoku game using this flow. Like this is very mind blowing. You can play with it if you are the game lover, or like you can even, like you can see like what was the, like how this man created this. You can see like the Sudoku game is already complex, and how you can see the magic of the translytical task flow here. Like, and you can also see like there is competition. The translytical task flow competition was happening, and the winner was announced in the Fabric Vienna conference. You can see this was the second report. The second, this is also the winner report. The second report. This lady created first thing. See, this lady was the Power BI database champion that was happened in the Vegas April. That was but not the champion was in the four finalists. The champion was one only, but he was the four was in the four finalists, and she created the, you can see the, yeah, the wallet tracker. You can see like we can add expense add, like we can do anything using the Power BI in the Fabric. Earlier, my thinking was we can do anything Power BI. Nothing is impossible. Now I am very, very much confident we can do anything with the combination of Power BI and Fabric now, because now we have that data engineering capability as well. I don't need to depend anyone. I don't need to go to the ETL thing. If for the same database I have the if for the same database I need to do the cleaning in the Power BI again and again for different type of report. Yeah, I agree we can create the master semantic model, but yeah, we feel this should be at upstream level, so we can we can play with the Microsoft Fabric magic, and I am very big fan of Microsoft Fabric. Yeah, that's it from my end. If anyone have any question, you can ask, and maybe if you want, we can, because this time I created very basic demo. I did not, but if you want, we can do another session and do advanced level. And maybe like I would like first you to read. Yeah, Pavan. Yeah. Let me complete my sentence. I first want you to read like whatever you like, not mandatory. You need to abolish. Just you can do. Just do the what we will do. Just do the practice. Just do the exercise, the brush up thing. Just do the reading. You can say like the reading. Then attend the session. That will be very beneficial. Very beneficial. If you are just come up and just listen what I said, you maybe you will not able to understand that. So like let me tell you, in my when I started the Power BI, my training was started like I don't know the Power BI. My trainer said, yeah, just read these topics and then I will tell you, like I will give you the understanding of this topic. Only 7 days training I took for Power BI. After that, I started work on the Power BI real client projects. And I think like if you do the learning by self and then take the session from any expert or any video lecturer, you can do, and the learning will be very fast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Prachi, one of the great things about you is you once you understand a topic, you do a lot of practice. Even when you are taking the sessions, you encourage people to practice, practice, practice. So I may not be a Shakespeare, I may not be like a great speaker or whatever, but your USP is you do so much of practice that when you did your DP 600, DP 700, Power BI certs, it became easier for you because you had a lot of practice and hard work behind it. That is very appreciative of you.
thank you, sir. Yes, Pavan, you can ask your question now.
Hi Prachi, thank you so much for this session. My question is around data security and data validations.
Hmm.
So, if you are updating, so first question is if you are updating a value directly in the report, and if there is any validation rules at the back end, do we get to see any invalid responses?
Yeah, for that we can create, let's see, first for the data security. As we have the capability, the approval workflow, like we can design in a way so that suppose everyone not able to do this, not able to use this feature, we can apply on top of that, we can apply the row level security. The second thing, the data validation thing, as I show you already the email thing, but the next level data validation thing, what you can do, you can add the approval workflow. So this value will not be inserted once my manager approve this. So notification will be like I will do this in a manner. Let me show you. Uh, so if you see here, like see, we can play with that. Let me show you. See, you can go with that library and these, if you can see this lady, actually this lady is from Microsoft. This give the demo. And if I was, because Fabric Vienna conference was happen and this lady again did the demo, but I did not get the PPT for that session. I have the PPT for other session, but don't have that. So if you see here, we can create the workflow. Let me open that workflow one. So see, you can create, yeah. So you can create your flow, like your, in such a manner so my value will be updated, like updated once my manager approved. So if you see here, type the comment you want to add and then other. So see, you can you see the mail has been
Yes,
sent.
yes.
So see, like it completely, because everyone have, as you said, the data security, that is very crucial thing. And based on our organization requirement, we can design in a manner so it did not break any rule. And with respect to the invalid data, because this example I show you for the email, but there can be the other parameter as well. If someone put the value in the minus by mistake, so how we will do that? So maybe the additional functionality you can add, the approval thing and the delete functionality also, like we can add if we need to add it, or need to add it the existing value, we can add it, we can add those things. And the you are talking about the history. So see, let me tell you one thing here. Right now, I show you the SQL database, but in the lake house, we have the version history concept. If we will use the version history, and suppose my data has been stored in the table, I can go to that version. If needed, I can restore my previous data as well. And like any way you can show that, like a lot of things in the backend, you are you will be able to show everything whatever you want. You just need to think about the architecture, think about it, and anyway you will be able to show that. Maybe like the thing that yeah, this record is updated by this user, that functionality also you can do. For that you need to create the this workflow in a manner so that who, like as here, what I was trying to create the user so that that particular user will be able to create their agent. So here, who modified, so as if you will, because this will be backed by the user principal name. So you can create this application in a manner who modified my record, that information also should be stored. So using that, you will be able to trace who updated, who inserted, and yeah, these type of things like you can create in a manner based on your requirement.
Thank you so much. Version history was my next question, and you answered it. Thank you.
Okay. What was your next question? Because I talk a lot.
Yeah, it was
What
about
was your?
version history. You
Okay, okay,
already
okay,
answered it.
okay, okay, okay. Anyone have any question, Vivek? Okay, yeah, yes, Vivek.
Thank you so much. I did understood the session. Thank you so much. It was easy.
So after this call, are you are you all going to play with it?
Yeah, of course. We need to do a practice. So we'll follow the session.
So when can I get the when can I get the flow that you will create? Can I get can I like see whatever I will give
Wow.
someone, I want in return. That is practice.
Yeah, she's always very insistent on practice. So anybody that has needs help can always, come back to Prachi and ask for help.
Yeah,
But
sure.
it'll be great if you can, share some sort of thing. You can tag Prachi and say, here's the thing I developed based upon the exercise. And we'll continue to have such fun sessions where we explore different features, and you can also recommend us some sessions, because we don't want to ignore Microsoft Fabrics and then the new feature, because anybody that's doing any company that's into Microsoft Fabrics, who has already been using Power BI and who knows that it can be how well it integrates with Power BI will benefit from it.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Prachi, thank you a lot for this session. I know I really love the fact that you do hands-on everything and you insist on people to practice and hands-on. So once they digest, because not everybody is at your level, but once they digest, information slowly, gradually, and then once they practice, they'll find it very easy.
Yes, sir.
In fact, I was very, very motivated uh, when
So,
Sanjay also cleared his
yes, sir.
fabric cert, and he's planning for
Yes,
one more. So it's really great to
yes,
see people, learning something and slowly, gradually taking up the studies for certification because it offers a lot of value in the market today.
yes, sir.
So, guys, thanks a lot. Are we ready to wrap the session, guys? Or anybody has any last minute question?
Thank
Pawan
you,
says the
Pawan.
session was very. Thank you, Pawan. He
So,
said
Pawan,
session was very
when
informative.
can I get when can I get like see whatever we discussed, the security level type of demo, when can we get from you? The next weekend?
Um, that I wish I could finish it by next weekend. I'll try my best. I'm not
You
sure
can
if I
see, you can give very simple like I did. Maybe at the next time the new user will join and they can learn from you. And
yeah.
like that will be very motivated uh, for everyone. For me as well, I will motivate, and yeah, I will, because right now the Fabcom Vienna law announced a lot of features in there that I want to explore.
If Prachi had her way, she would actually travel to Vienna and be with those fabric guys, or wherever fabric is. Prachi's second name has become Fabric. Uh, but Pavan, yeah, guys, do take your time. I mean, I know that it's difficult to commit certainly for next week, whatever. But the idea is do practice, and hopefully we'll see in sessions not only from Prachi, but students can also come up and deliver sessions because you're delivering to a small audience, and it's a way of your practicing for the interviews as well, right? Again, thank you, Prachi, and thank you everyone for being here
Thank you,
today.
sir.
Now you can go back to Netflix or fun stuff, whatever else you're doing. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone.